So over the last few years, this trans athlete, Sadie Schreiner, has been dominating the female competition and even bragging about how easy it is to beat these girls, even in faulty shoes. And with Trump coming into power recently, as most of us know already, he's put a stop to all this nonsense. So this athlete was indeed banned and took to social media to tell everyone about it.
Hi, my name is Sadie Schreiner. I'm a trans athlete that competes in track and field, and today I was supposed to be competing in Boston University's Valentine Invitational. I paid the $120, they put me on the heat sheet, they accepted my entry, and I was perfectly ready to go and drive down to Boston just like I did a year before. Less than 24 hours before I was supposed to step on the track to compete, Boston University sent me this email.
Dear Sadie, we're sorry to inform you that because of recent Trump administration executive order, you are prohibited from competing in women's events at the Valentine Invitational meet this weekend. The executive order issued on February 6, 2025 specifies that athletes who were assigned male at birth cannot compete in women's sporting events. Man. The executive order has put us all in a difficult position in which we are obligated to comply, even if it does not align with our previous practices. We understand this is distressing and abrupt news to hear, especially in a time of so much uncertainty.
Claiming that the executive order barred me from competing. Despite Massachusetts law, despite their own transgender policy, and despite me being an unattached athlete, they banned me without any investigation or discussion, which means that should any other woman be going to compete at Boston University for any reason, unattached or part of a school, they can simply say to you, we think you were assigned male at birth, and so we're not going to allow you to compete. I want to make this video to document how universities were responding to the recent executive order and show that they're not looking at federal documents, they're not looking at my passport or my birth certificate, they're not even simply calling me before banning me. They are hearing word that I was assigned male at birth, and that is enough for them to ban any athlete they want to. They are not going to be the only university who takes such drastic measures. And it sets a really scary precedent for how the future of women athletics are going to work. Because if you don't conform to what they think is a female athlete, they're not going to let you compete.
That's a W.
I think the only people scared in this whole situation were the other females he was competing against. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts as well, but let's go to the comments. This will be good. Top comment on the video is, common sense wins again. Yes, it does, my friend. She actually got a comment from an actual female athlete. It says, hey Sadie, most of these comments are rude, but so is Boston for emailing you on such short notice, which is extremely unfortunate. However, as a biological female athlete myself, in the same college town as you shouldn't be competing against biological females. Yeah, she's 100% right. I think 99.9% of people would agree with that. Another comment says, what are you talking about? You literally publicized that you were assigned male at birth, no need to investigate. Yeah, that's what confused me watching it. This always should have been a rule. You are a man, and taking away records and titles from hard-working women, this is disrespectful and you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, there's women who have trained and dreamed of this their entire life, and to get stripped of that, it's just crazy, man, how this can even happen. I'm just glad it ain't happening anymore. How are you going to draw on your face like that and think we're going to take you seriously? Yeah, guys, 99% of the comments are exactly what me and you are thinking watching this. So this is a W, guys. This is a W. So we're moving in the right direction. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments.
I love the way you walk. You look confident.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Nasifa.
Nasifa?
Nasifa.
Nice to meet you. Before you go, oh, that's your boyfriend?
That's my friend.
So I need your number.
My number?
Yes. I was just telling your friend is gorgeous, and she was walking like a model with the dress, with the outfit and everything. Yeah. Well, I love your dog. What's his name?
It's Lena.
It's a girl? Can I pet him or no?
Yeah. Be careful, she bites.
I have a dog too, so it's okay. Cute. Here, you like coffee?
No, I do not like coffee.
What do you like? Like Moxie's?
Can you leave, bro?
Yeah, I'll leave. 1 second.
Nah, you're not getting
But she said that she was about to give it to me. She said you were her friend, not her boyfriend. Yep. So I respect that, but if she tells me to leave, I would have left. You don't have to say anything.
Oh damn, that's gotta hurt.
I love your nails. Have a great night. Nick, don't be so rude next time, alright?
You're a victim.
Valuable lesson here. Consider this one a Valentine's Day special, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be like this guy here. There's always a white knight, fellas. The white knights are out there, and they're in numbers. The beta male white knights, they're out there. This video sums up both sides, how you should be and how you shouldn't be. And the fact he actually got a number, that's the funniest part about it.
The problem is y'all let social media think you had all these options because of the access to people's accounts. Baby, you ain't got no options. This ain't the stock market, okay?
Yeah, and who she's talking about is a lot of these girls who have like a few hundred followers and they think they're flipping Beyonce out here. But to be fair, there are some flipping wildebeests out there that do get a flood of DMs, and there's plenty of good looking dudes who get 0 DMs. That's just how it is on social media.
Okay, so my last video got like over 600 comments, and they kind of basically sounded all like this. And I asked where the
Some guy said, we're saving our money and protecting our peace. Yeah, a lot of guys are doing that these days.
They basically said they're at home, they're at work, or at the gym. A lot of them said they're trying to protect their peace. And I definitely hear that. Best they expected me to be like, oh my God, how dare you say that? But I can understand it. I blame the podcast pros and all that good stuff, but stupid online hypothetical question. Oh, if I don't spend $200 on a date, it's not a date. Like, shut up. Ultimately, this divide just makes our community a lot weaker because we as a society, we need each other. We both need each other.
Yes.
When the devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me 6 kids with 6 different baby fathers. I think he did reach you. I think he did.
Something that men really need to consider these days is keeping receipts. Keep those text messages, keep the voice notes, keep the emails. Whatever receipts you have, keep them, because you don't know if you're going to need them in the future. Look at the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation. If he wouldn't have kept his text messages, he would have been screwed. Thank God he kept the receipts, and that's what men need to do these days.
That's what we always say, guys, evidence. That's why you see a lot of guys recording arguments and girls be, you know, throwing stuff at them. Get that shit on video. That is evidence collecting right there. Because if it's your word against hers, yeah, that's probably going to be an L.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Woman says she thought a man was corny for bringing her flowers and opening her car door on the first date. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
On the first date, and when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, "Oh, like right." And then he pulled the flowers out, and I was like, "Wow, this is different, right?" So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past the trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't like I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door, I get inside, he closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. Did you say he opened your car door? High five. No. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized, and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it. But it's so unheard of that instead of me appreciating it, it's weird.
Yeah, and there's a lot of women out there who say they want guys to do these things, be a gentleman, be romantic, all this stuff. But when you do it, you're considered a weirdo. And there's a lot of women who just don't appreciate it, but there are a hell of a lot of women who do. This guy should have followed the red flags from the get-go, her barging past him and going to the car. Yeah, I would have just locked the car and taken myself home.
When he takes a nap, it irrationally annoys me.
Pardon? What? Don't take a nap.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
She created a PS5 time schedule for her husband where
Oh, nah. No. She created a PS5 time schedule for her husband. Nope.
he has to do various different things just so he could play his PS5. So for 30 minutes to play on his PS5, he has to give his wife
foot rub, 30 minutes of playing time. What?
A foot rub. For 40 minutes, he has to give his wife a back rub. For an hour without playing online, so he can't play with his friends, he has to cook dinner for an hour to play on his PS5.
Set the boundaries. Tell your wife, no, this is ridiculous. You're not doing that, because if you don't, you're actually harming the relationship more in the end all.
Nah, man, skip all that. I'll be saying, you, right? First and foremost, you, get the hell out of my house.
Get out right now. I'm security.
What cracks me up, right? You know when someone's married and they're talking about their partner and they refer to them, obviously, as like my husband or my wife, whatever.
Okay.
I feel like they're bragging.
What?
I feel like it's unnecessary, like the showing off. It's not unnecessary. You have every right. That is your husband. That is your wife. And they're like, yeah, like, oh, I went out for dinner with my husband. Or like in a restaurant, they're like, oh yeah, my husband's just running late, whatever. It's like, all right. Got to tell everyone you're married. It's literally normal. Like, you're not going to call me your boyfriend or girlfriend. But it cracks me up. My husband and I. All right.
Y'all know what's going on. And so do I.
If I had to say to a girl, make a video of you saying how you've been rejected and no guy wants to marry you, no guy's even considered you as wifey material, this is the video I would expect to see. When he says, sorry, I have a girlfriend, instead of, no, I have a girlfriend. What?
Okay, so what exactly was so wrong with the first statement?
Yeah.
Where the gentleman would say, sorry, I have a girlfriend. That implies that the gentleman thought about what he was going to say before he said it. Or would they rather just have blunt honesty in the case of, no, I have a girlfriend? Really can't have it both ways. So which way is it?
I don't think she really cares how it was said. I think it's more the fact that she couldn't handle getting rejected.
Rejected.
Just like
men before, but where are they now?
Talk over.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Adults have conversations.
I'm listening.
Okay? So if we were to get together, you would be asking me questions like, Dr. Elam, what did you do to acquire everything that you acquired? What did you do to learn everything that you learned? What type of habits and skills do you...
She proved his point exactly, that looks aren't everything. And she actually took it all right at the start. And then she started to get bitter and angry at the fact that he was rejected. Causing you problems and stress and... Fuck that, man. On my way to my engagement party, thinking of my ex. Wow.
It hurts my soul to know that there's people who do this, because there's people out here who will literally look at you like they're your whole world while you're out here thinking of your ex. And that's so messed up to do to somebody. Like, do people have feelings? We have hearts, we have emotions. You know what I mean? And I think it's so sad that you would let this get this far to the point where you're gonna get engaged, but you're still in love with your ex, or you still think about your ex. Isn't that mind-blowing or messed up to you? Poor guy, he doesn't even know what he's getting himself into. And then to post this is even crazier.
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. I think it's really sad to see how a lot of people in this generation would much rather bounce from person to person than to be by themselves and heal.
Man, poor guy. And the fact she's posting it probably tells me that he knows this is going on.
She belongs to the streets.
And then he lived happily ever after. On this beautiful... Chloe, I've known you for 6 years now. I have known since the day I met you that I wanted you to be my friend and partner forever. And today I thought...
Look at her face, man. Does that look like the face of a woman who's happy about the situation? That is, oh shit. No, 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 please no. Not
on this
looking
beautiful
good.
day in this beautiful place, I would make it official and ask you to be my wife.
Please stop.
But
Enjoy the view, mate, while it lasts.
I'm serious. Stop.
Rejected.
I bet them going back down to the ground was the longest trip of their life. I've seen this clip before, but when I saw it come up, I had to show you guys, because this one, man, you can see his whole world falling apart. I don't know what happened in their relationship, but he tried doing a nice thing. I mean, this is a nice way to do it, but man, see you in the gym, mate.
If I can guess the name of your crush, you're gonna call him right now and tell him you have feelings for him.
Okay.
If I can guess it. Kason?
One of her friends told him, obviously. Clearly.
Hello. Hey, I like you and I think we should hang out.
Okay.
So, yes?
Tonight?
No. Yeah, sure.
I'm in the middle of a neighborhood at a park right now.
So, like, later?
Yeah? What do you want to do?
I don't care.
Who are you with?
No one?
Alright, yeah, just let me know and I'll be down.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing tonight, so I'm probably not doing anything, so just let me know.
Okay.
Alright, see ya.
Okay, bye.
That guy who said he was going to guess the name is a good wingman right there. Pick your wife wisely and don't ignore little red flags. Good advice. Yikes. Guys, that whole hugging position, everything, suspicious activities, man. On the wedding as well. On another dude. Yikes. That's awkward.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
So this clip, the first one, was no way near as bad as this one. Yeah, that's... I haven't got to say much. The clip explains itself. Crazy work.
A study last year, which came out in the news just a couple weeks ago, showing that the percentage of young men ages 18 to 29, 63% of them are not in a relationship. That is, they're not married, they're not in a steady relationship, they're not dating, they're single. 63%, nearly 2 out of 3. These trends towards singleness, not being in relationships, not being married, is bad for our society. It's bad for the individuals. And this should alarm people that as we continue down this road, these figures only appear as though they're likely going to be getting worse. Data also shows that they're less likely to pursue it at all. And this bodes very poorly for our society. I think we have to acknowledge that our principles in place for dating, for relationships, for intimacy, these changes that we've instituted in our society are not working well. And our only way is to undo many of the things that we have done and get back on a course that does work to support marriages, relationships, and family life.
Yep, no lies detected here. He ain't wrong. Social media definitely advocates and promotes, you know, singleness and that's no good. Guys, we know that. Girls know that as well. Well, eventually they do. It is a dangerous thing.
Is he? What's your body count?
12.
Cap detected.
What's the real number? Maybe like what?
25.
25. That's not bad at all, is it?
No, of course not.
Of course.
Brother, There's no 10s at this table.
But that's your opinion.
It's not my...
It's an opinion, it's not fact.
No, but there's an objective component to beauty. If you were a 10, you would not need to wear makeup.
So are you saying to
It's a good point.
be a 10, you have to be a model? Because that's what you said.
We're talking about your looks, your physical beauty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So by you
But
saying
you asked
that
us what we thought about ourselves.
your self-perception does not determine the reality or how other people see you in the world.
You already see it in the eye of the beholder.
Can you think in your mind right now of a guy who you think is unattractive?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of a guy who you've ever encountered who thinks he's hot but isn't?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what if that guy said he was a 10?
Well, then that's his opinion. Like,
But is he
I
wrong?
might not agree.
Remember, men can't have the same mindset to these women. If a guy says he's a 10, he's at, they'll laugh at him and say he's stupid. But all these girls, even if they look like something from Blue Planet, you know, these sea lions and wildebeests, they be saying, yeah, you're a 10, I'm a 10. We've all heard it before.
Is he wrong?
Let's be so for real. If any of us were a 10, we'd be on Miss Universe or like Miss America, whatever that pageant show is.
You could in fact say that there's no such thing as a 10, because 10 is perfection, and I don't think anyone, there's not a human being walking this earth who's perfect. And they really get confused on confidence versus reality, subject reality. Very different. It's all great to be confident, but you have got to analyze yourself realistically.
Would you ever start an only? And I was like, how like, how could you even ask me that? And he literally goes, like, you post things that are basically like that. How do you have such judgment about it for? And I was sitting there like, And I really took a step back. I analyzed, like, the things that I had been posting, the presence that I had on social media.
Yeah, she was probably posting the provocative photos. And it's not a good look. Girls might think it looks good and you look great and everything, but guys are just going to look at you differently. They're going to have less respect for you, and that's just the truth of it. That's why girls who be advocating for that, a lot of guys will slide in those DMs, because it's like those girls are advertising themselves for that kind of attention.
And at the time, I was posting like 7 stories a day of myself. I was so deep in it, and I had taken 3 days off of social media, not posting one story, not posting one photo of myself, absolutely zero attention. And this is coming from someone who I'm like, I pride myself on the fact that, like, I don't need attention. I don't need attention from it. I felt lonely. Yeah. Not getting that attention. I can't even believe it. I was not even aware, and I know this might sound so silly to some people, but when you're so deep in it, you have no idea.
I know a lot of guys are roasting her in the comments and saying this and that, but look, at least she's making the change, and a positive change is a good change. Social media is, in most cases, it's not a good thing. There's a lot of good things that come from it, but there is a hell of a lot of bad effects from overusing social media. Most people wake up in the morning, they roll over before they even kiss their missus or whatever. They grab their phone, scroll through Insta, Facebook, do this for hours. Yeah, it's not healthy, man. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope you have a good time. If you ain't got a partner, then happy days, because you're saving a few quid. I'll see you in the next one.